Hello, YouTube. This... I should be used to this by now. Anyway, this is a Zayn versus Hungrybox. It was a first to 50 match that lasted literal hours and pushed both players to their absolute limits. Obviously, this wasn't necessarily a high stakes match or anything, but I think there were a lot of valuable insights to gain from seeing 50 to 99 games over the span of one session. I streamed the entire match live, breaking down some of the adaptations, mind games, and momentum shifts as they happened. So, to save you guys 5 hours, this 2-hour video is the distilled version, so I hope you like it. And if you do, let me know in the comments. I'm admittedly quite bad at streaming, as you'll soon find out, but I had a lot of fun doing this, like, kind of less scripted, more impromptu chat, and if it means I can get more content out for you guys, I'm down to do it. Alright, that's it. Enjoy the video. So my score prediction for this, I think it's going to be pretty close to Moki. Again, because I was soft spoiled, that kind of like influences my numbers a little bit. My prediction is going to be Zayn wins 50 to, what did Moki get, 29? I think Hbox gets 27. There you have it. We ready? Let's go. Big things we're looking out for here for this match, and we're going to see a lot of it because it's going to be at least, 50 games worth. Puff ground game. If Hbox gets caught on platforms, he's usually losing. If Zayn gets to play around platforms, he's usually winning. Puff ground game. Wave dashes are insanely good for Hbox. Hbox's edgeguarding has gotten a lot better against Zayn, but Zayn's recovery, in turn, has also gotten a lot better too. I'm going to look at the notes that I put together from the invitational that Hbox beat Zayn at, the Full House one, just to get some more notes, but we'll get started, and we'll start taking a look at how this goes. We'll see how close I get. All right. Right off the gate. Drills. Amazing. That was terrible. Actually, yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was pretty good by Zayn, but that's actually insane that he goes for that on the very first stock of a first to 50. You don't hear Zayn's VOD? Oh, hang on. I got you. You know what's crazy? And I'm not ashamed to admit this. This is what I mean. I'm bad at streaming. I had music playing for you guys the entire time, and I didn't realize I didn't unmute my desktop audio, so I'm just a fucking moron. That's all there is to it. I think I was talking about very first interaction of the game, drill out of shield from Hbox. Very, very good option. I do believe it is Puff's fastest aerial, frame 4 or 5 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's frame 5 for Dare. So it's her fastest aerial. So technically the best out of shield option that Hbox could go for, that is an aerial. That's Ken habits that are coming in from Zayn Coach and Ken. If you have the time, would you go over why Hbox sucks so much more against Zayn at Tokyo? I can try. I mean, we're going to be here for a while. That was Johnny Beans over on Twitter, or on Twitch, excuse me. I don't go on Twitter anymore. I think, by and large, the difference between here, assuming, again, Hbox does pretty well, is probably edgeguarding, and it's probably Zayn was just extremely locked in. Because, like, the big thing about Tokyo, to me, for watching Zayn play, was how well Zayn played against specifically Axe, because that matchup used to be really, really awkward, and Zayn made it look extremely easy. Okay, so platform landing, like I said, pretty bad position for Hbox a lot of the time. So again, that's why you'll see situations like this, where if he has to land on a platform, he's just gonna either attack it and instant shield drop, or he's gonna go for an edge cancel, so he gets off it very, very quickly. That grab is a 50-50 for Zayn, so it's just basically a hard mix-up that Hbox has to be DIing correctly for. I don't think he got the light shield toggle at that one to go for a shield grab. Yeah, because he was shield angling down to try to go for, like, you can go for like Marth Killer 2.0 there, but he's not facing away from the ledge, so it's a little bit awkward. And then in these wars of attrition, it's like, yeah, look, you died to fair. So 1-0 for Zayn. Many, many more games to go. So this was good, caught him, but he did have a jump, yeah, so jumps onto the Randall. I like that. That's good from Hbox too, that he knows that he can just get the punish as long as Zayn lands on stage. So this is what I mean. I think Hbox's edgeguarding has gotten extremely good in this matchup. The problem is Zayn is just, to be honest, so much better right now. I don't know if it's just Zayn, but Marth Puff seems so one-sided. Yeah, but the problem is it wasn't like that. Again, like, I think if you watched, this is Ryan RZ Jr., the thing that I talked about in the Full House analysis HBox was beating every single Marth. The only Marth he lost to before Zayn was Pew Pew U at Apex. And then he just started taking like at least in like a legit set. Then he was like losing to everyone online, right? But like HBox was unbelievably good in this matchup. It was so hard for Marth, and this was way before like the Cardano threads were out there, and Marth's like Pew Pew started labbing the pivot tipper setups and stuff like that. Zayn just got so damn good at it. So I think in modern melee, yeah, you're totally right. Like it is pretty tough because the grab flow charts on Marth's side are so optimized at this point. It's just weird because I think also because you have a player like HBox who is, you know, been so tenured and like part of the competitive scene for so long. A lot of people joke that like he just got to do the same thing for many years, and like a lot of players are like this, honestly. Like even Axe like is one of my favorite players out there, and like people were just joking of like, oh yeah, he's been just like cross up nairing people for 10 years, and people haven't really like found a pretty sufficient counterplay to it yet, unless you're a Puff player. But for HBox, it was like, all right, like he's just kind of like hanging out by ledge. He's bearing. Like he developed a lot of strategies and counterplays in the years where he got like kind of bullied for a period of time. But he did do a lot of similar neutral things very early on, especially before he got Crunch as a coach. And then I guess Mewtwo King now. After losing the Pew Pew set, HBox in a post-match interview said Pivot Tipper would change this matchup forever, and he was 100% right. Can you link me that if it's a video interview? I would love to see that. Because I feel like I'm like a Rolodex for this information, and I don't know if I've seen that interview. But yeah, he totally was right. Because I think, like, again, the difference between pre-Pew Pew U at Apex win and then Zayn now is that no Marths were doing pivot tippers the same way. Nice wave dash. Again, you get the low profile, and you do get you are ungrabbable during the like intro frames to the wave dash. Also, I didn't realize that you were Karthu's dojo. That's pretty crazy. I just totally didn't read the name when I read your message. What's up? Cool to see you're a Melee fan. That's awesome. And cool to see you in my chat. That's extremely random, but you know, I'm happy about it. I haven't been paying attention too much to HBox's ground game. I feel like he's lost the first game because he was largely in part playing from the air too much, and then he, again, like if he plays on the ground a lot more, he tends to win. Okay, again, pivot tippers, like I said before, are more or less a hard 50-50 because HBox has to react with specific DI to not get him pivot tipper depending on the throw Zayn goes for. So you have to have like insane reactions, and it's hard to get that. Start making Dragon Ball content, it's easy. Hell yeah. Dude, anime content goes insane, actually. Like, truly, truly insane. Is Marth supposed to be playing grounded or aerial in this matchup? Yeah, he mixes it up because the thing is, and again, this was a point I brought up in the Full House analysis, is typically, if you are meeting Puff in the same area, so if you are air-to-airing or ground-to-grounding, Marth can win out on those matchups. So you want to try to find these pockets of time in between where, like, you can catch Marth grounded during a dash dance. So if HBox is trying to drift in, you want your drift in to match up with Zayn's dash dance in. And if it's not matched up, then Marth will probably win the interaction. Analyzing the longest world arts tournaments match, martial arts tournaments match, so you don't have to. Puff is better in the air, generally speaking, yes, Ipons. But yeah, again, like Marth can play, and Zayn in particular can play keep away, he can play swatting. Ooh, that was sick too. The platform height gave him that. That was so smart! Wow! Let's watch that stock again. Up air catches the jump, so that was nothing. Up smash here. Only works because the platform's lowered, by the way. I don't think up tilt would have hit if the platform was regular height. So forward roll's really good here. Or like generally speaking, it's pretty good. I talk about this a lot on commentary, and I get made fun of for it a lot because it's I think it's important to point out. But Puff has the fastest forward roll in the game. It is 2 frames, I believe, where pretty much everyone else in the cast has a 4-frame active, or a 4-frame startup on their forward roll. The same thing exists for spot dodges. It's a 2-frame spot dodge, so that's why you'll see situations where HBox just spot dodges in place like 10 times in a row, because it's just really good. But this was really smart, right? So he goes forward roll and then the wave dash through. Like I said, the initial frames of wave dash when Puff pancakes, Marth can't grab it. So he just gets the sneak through. Plenty of time left, go for the rest. So smart. Love that. And this was something that Kadoran talked to me about actually too. So it's ungrabbable the first few frames of Jigglypuff's crouch, no matter what you do. So the adaptation, when we were talking about some of the history here, was that Pew Pew and even I guess Zayn, when he started beating HBox in like 2018, started implementing dash grab instead of JC grab, because JC grab leaves Marth a little bit taller, and the taller Marth cannot grab a flattened Jigglypuff, like most of the time. The dash grab, however, brings him a little bit lower, so even if Puff is crouching, it will more often than not connect with the grab. So pretty cool developments over the years to learn that you can kind of get the crouch and all the benefits of the movement of the wave dash, as long as you are playing the correct neutral to, allow for a punish like that. Okay, so this is HBox up. I don't imagine he'll stay up for long, but this is the other thing about really, really long sets like this is if you just go streaky, it's kind of like, I feel like momentum can play a really, really big difference. Obviously, there's not a lot of stakes in this aside from like just getting a ton of practice. But let's say this was a first to 50 for, 100K, right? If you just go on a run and win 10 in a row, you probably feel completely cooked at that point. Nice to pull the trigger early. Love that. So you saw HBox start to go for the falling up air. If he connects a full hop bear and he can land on with an up air, that's like absolute gangbusters for him. And I'm talking a lot in the perspective of HBox because Zayn is just the better player between these two. So it's a lot of like, what does Jigglypuff need to do to start beating Zayn again? I think most of the melee watchers in here kind of have a decent idea of how Zayn is winning, and it's largely in part due to his grab game. Rest, yep, nice. Again, dude, that's crazy. I wonder what the earliest percent is for that. We'll take a look later. Wave dash again. Oh, and he let it rock. Okay, yeah, see, he's got the right ideas. That was supposed to be max distance, or I guess like close to 0 degree waveland, but gets the grab, but he wave dashed instead of just jump resting, so he was a little bit late. Yeah, you saw how he could, Zayn could get shield up in time. So this is end lag. Like, as soon as the grab whiffs, if you're HBox, you have to just jump rest. But he wave dashed in, so he gave Zayn a moment to shield. Because you also get the jump squat frames. Like, it gives Zayn like a decent enough window to just be able to hold shield down, especially after he presses the grab button. H-God holding his own, hell yeah. Again, dude, these pivots are fucking crazy. What was that at? 78 before the hit? I'm gonna look this up, hang on. So it hits here, 78, I think. Wow, it's actually a kill on all DI. That's fucking crazy. I think, okay, if HBox gets an SDI input in like down or down to the left, he can technically survive, or at least it's not a guaranteed death, but he's still in hit stun when he reaches the blast zone. It kind of depends on positioning. So if it's a little bit lower, he can hit the exact corner at that percent. But 70, like, listen, like the flowcharts from Zayn are pretty wild, right? Like he knows about what percents he needs to find grabs. He's not pushing HBox too far out of those ranges. Again, that can be a really big problem for Marth. It is so impressive, like how optimized he's gotten. And what's crazy also is he didn't even win at Nouns Tokyo, and he was a heavy favorite to, right? Like the Jmook run was also pretty insane. So, well, setting aside what you know about how this set ends up, what can you say about the stamina of each player? Who would you expect to hold up better over a long set like this? So I don't know if you were here earlier. I actually don't know what the set count is. I'm pretty sure I was spoiled that Zayn won every single first to 50, so I kind of know how it's roughly going to end, but I made a prediction of what I thought the set count would be. Stamina-wise, I mean, I think both of these players are incredible, right? Like, I think Zayn's mental is, like, pretty unshakable. I guess I would want, like, did Cody do the first to 50? Because I feel like Cody's mental has gotten significantly better also. So he probably would be, I mean, like, and he won the match, right? Like, he's probably an extremely, like, mentally stalwart player when it comes to really long, drawn-out sets like this. Yeah, I don't like this part is what's scary, right? Because it's Marth at 0, so now HBox has like completely changed his game plan to approach it. He's gonna die. Oh wow, just barely. Like, look at the way he's changed as soon as he gets the edge guard, right? Like HBox immediately flips from ground game like this part I'm not sure about, and I'd love to get in his head about it because it's like the ground game clearly works, at least like for a vast majority of their neutral interactions. But as soon as Marth comes off the Angel platform, all of HBox's neutral is coming off platforms now. And when HBox is fighting from the platforms, his drift angles are pretty predictable. Zayn can just play keep away until he swats him into a percent where Pivot Tipper will kill. And he just barely missed there, but it probably would have been pretty close to a kill at that point. Nice, not enough. But there's a mix-up there too, right? Like that's what won him. This is the mix-up that won him Shine in 2018, right? You go for either first hit Dancing Blade, and if they don't DI it correctly, you get a confirmed hit up tilt. If they do DI it, you can do like an up air, or what you do after that is second hit Dancing Blade, which can hit them up, and then you can follow that one up with a up air after to get a kill. On Dreamland, it's not really going to happen, but now he's pretty much in range to get it. Yeah, close. But this is what I mean, right? Like, look at where all this damage came from. All of this damage was because HBox is drifting off platforms. Gets this, okay, so he starts at 58. I want to watch it one more time. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this one stock. Off platform, drifts in, up air. Tries to land on top of him, goes on side platform for safety again, gets the landing, couple hits, Zayn gets out. But ultimately, he wins the interaction with the grab. He could have died. But it's like, where do you escape if you're HBox, right? Like, that's the reason why you go to a stage like this. I just feel like HBox gave him that game. I think it's game plan stuff. I think he just went to platforms because they felt safer. They gave him a few more angles of attack to just get like a straight up neutral win. But, like, I want to see the difference, right? Like, immediately, HBox is wave dashing in this game. He's going for a lot of ground play, even though he's getting his ass beat on this first stock. He's not, like, really running to platforms except for now when he's cornered. Or he just jumps over to center. Game 5 situation, don't start. I don't want to think about how long we have to do this. You almost don't want to get the tech there because it gives Zayn an extra hit. That's a controller error. I mean, the other thing too is they're doing this online, right? Like, this might also be a little bit different if they were in person doing a match this long. Who's to say? I wonder when HBox, in the set, HBox will experiment with different stage counterpicks just to try to get more practice against Zayn's Marth too. Because Dreamland is relatively strong for him. It's pretty standard for the counterpick. Or I guess, like I talked about stage picks in the other video as well. I want to see. Like, they usually start on FOD, which I think they did for this game 1. Zayn, usually counterpicks Yoshi's Story. HBox usually counterpicks Dreamland. But Dreamland, at the time of Full House at least, was only like a 50% win rate for HBox. And then Zayn usually just gets to go the distance in a 5-game set. Yes. Okay, there's the setup from before. It's for shield grab. I like that. So this is what I mean, like the Edgeguard flowcharts that Juan has started to build out. This is from like a year or two ago too, but it's very good. Oh yeah, I guess so, because HBox was up 2-1 and they were on Dreamland, so you're right. Spicy stuff, yeah. Is that another toggle to light shield? Pretty smart. If Zayn starts bringing in the shield breakers, he's gonna get popped though. Pretty smart. Okay, yeah, stages are random. Thank you, Fry. Appreciate the clarification as well. Ooh, aggressive. The Marth on top of Puff feels like Zayn is winning a lot of these interactions too. Oh my god. Oh, if he full drift left and then hit the fair, he gets fair bear, but you have to commit so hard for that. Is there any sense / mentality among top players of not wanting to play each other due to not wanting to give opponents practice? Hbox, I'm pretty sure, used to do this years and years ago. Not anymore. I think he's very willing to just do stuff for the content. But when he was winning a lot, I do believe that a lot of players were saying he did not often play friendlies against them. And I don't mean this to be like Hbox propaganda, like I'm friends with the guy, so. But I think like generally now most players are like fine playing with each other. Cause like, you know, when Zayn and Cody started playing a billion matches with each other and they became number 1 and 2, so much of what they said was like they just want to see the best melee. Trying to make sure I conserve my energy as well, because we're only in game 6, so we have a while. I think what would have needed to happen, and I talked with a couple other people about this, is Zayn would have had to have done like extraordinarily badly at Nouns Tokyo, and Cody would have had to win at the same time. And Zayn didn't do that bad, but Cody did win. Holy moly. The absolute disrespect. Did he just dare him 6 times? 5 times? 1, 2. Oh, it was 3. I guess it was 4 with the first one missing. The fact that people have this much time to do 80-ish matches all at once is insane. I mean, it's their job. Like, so I am of the opinion that I think Zayn has it locked no matter what. But like, there was one very specific reality, or I don't even think it's a reality, but there's one very specific set of circumstances where, like I said, Zayn would have had to do really, really bad, and exactly Cody would have had to win at the same time in order for Zayn to not have rank 1 clinched. Let me guess the next sponsor. It's not FlexiSpot. I only had a one-off with them right now. Whew. Dang. And yeah, and off of the tech chase as well. I mean, Zayn is just so clean. Mikey over on Twitch, why is this matchup winning for Marth? It's winning for Marth in modern day because the grab game pivot tipper punishes are just so good against this character. Like Puff's weight, I was talking about this before, whenever Zayn goes for like a down throw or forward throw, or whatever it may be, it is a 50-50, right? Like you see all of these are DI traps that he's going for. And if Hbox isn't DIing correctly for any of those throws, he can just die like that, or he gets pivot tippered and dies anyway. Bagels on Twitch says, how much should I bet that you're gonna make another Junebug DK vid? It depends on if June does well. I guess technically you already have that bet won because I have to finish my 2024 retrospective. And June did really well that year. So you can technically call that a Junebug video if you want. He told me he might slow down playing next year though, so we'll have to see. I feel like a lot of players are like that now because they all have like real lives and jobs. Most of them have other jobs outside of playing.
No, why'd I do this?
Zayn questioning his own punish too, yeah. I think you're better off like daring or grabbing. But you do get damage, it was like 30. Do I have a recommendation for a cheap 30 and below GameCube controller? There are some OEM manufacturers who I think sell for like 50, but they're hard to find. I don't know if you're gonna find one for that cheap. Cody and Zayn are at 4 apiece this year. I think Zayn is at 5. I think they're at 5 apiece. Because Zayn got the 4-peat and he also won Battle of BC. So Zayn is still up on majors, even. So that was like my argument for the person saying if Cody wins Nouns and Zayn does really, really bad, then Cody might get number 1 and Zayn might get number 2. But I just still think quantity of major wins is more important, right? The best players make the matchup, so it seems winning for Marth now because Zayn is the best, but it's hard to know if that's a fact in a vacuum. Yeah, that's also fair. And like Zayn was not that good against Puff until he became really good against Puff. But that's just how it goes when you practice it enough. I think Zayn is still number one. Cody had worse losses throughout the year, and Zayn was up on majors. I mean, that's also a fair point. Like, I think it's also like, again, what a lot of panelists who do the rankings consider. And again, like, I have my qualms with this. This is why I talked and made an entire video talking about how the major rating system is dumb. But like, a lot of it comes down to like, did you win at a lot of majors, and did you win at a lot of majors that felt important to the community? So I think what some people could argue is Nouns Invitational Tokyo and Tipped Off 16, for example, were more stacked events in terms of just like the overall talent pool that Cody won. Meanwhile, Zayn has a higher quantity of major wins. And he also has the title of Supernova winner, which is technically the biggest major ever in Melee, but it was also kind of like a Mickey Mouse title, right? So people might put some asterisks on that too. Those gotta be my favorites. Bagels says for the Junebug DK videos, I hope he doesn't slow down anytime soon. Yeah, he's Junebug's the man. I love that guy. One of my pretty close friends in the community, I'm proud to say. I was sad, though. He texted me a picture of him and Vish. Oh! I made a video about that! That sucks. His fucking Zayn shit-eating grin after that. You didn't earn that. That's so annoying. We need a third tournament threat. The Zayn Cody show is getting old. Also, fair enough. I mean, the thing that was really cool about 2024 Melee was when AMSA was performing quite well, was that power struggle, right? Where, like, AMSA beat Zayn, Cody beat AMSA, Mango beat Cody, and Zayn beat Mango, right? Like, it was this perfectly symmetrical square of parity between these players, which was sick. Like, right now, it's more, you know, these two diametric players that are just winning at a lot of stuff, and it's like who can beat them, who hasn't beaten HBox, right? Like, because HBox is the one that's standing between all of them right now. Yeah, he says he got lucky. This is what I mean, though. You get streaky. Zayn won what? 5 in a row? 5, 6 in a row? I'm not going to say the next number, because I know it's not 7. Oh, that was smart. That's a player read. Wow. Mango's a weird case, but based just off the game, I feel like he's going to be really good when he comes back. I think he'll, if he chooses to come back and, you know, like, whatever ends up happening with how everything went down, yeah, I think it'll be interesting, for sure. OG Kid's grandma is, like, the coolest person I've ever met, by the way. I've interviewed her a ton for, like, on-stream segments, and she is so freaking cool. Grab again, yep. Oh, yes, I love the drill. That's a missed rest. Okay, wave dash and grab. Oh, dare? No shot. Again? Oh! He's so good. He's so good. What the hell? Again, dude, look at this. He's just fucking breaking his ankles. You know what this is like? It's like when you get grabs in Rivals of Aether. Oh, he just dies. And you keep doing one of the two pummels. Because for those of you who don't know, in Rivals of Aether 2, they added grabs. But they added a really fun mechanic where you can basically guess if your opponent is going to pummel you. And they give you actually like an answer to be able to get out of grab. So if you guess the pummel correctly, you get a grab break. But if you don't, you just get owned. Having a hard time understanding what HBox and Zayn are reading. Could you give me insight if they are reading more of the rhythm or move selection in time and what they would need to know to win? Yeah, I'm gonna keep going through some of the minutia. Again, like, we're here for a really long time. This is only game 12 out of at least another 50. So we got a while. Generally speaking, Dax14, professor of pixelings, we want to look for certain positions where H-Box can be drifting in at the same time as Marth getting a dash dance in. That's like the best possible position for H-Box to be able to get a neutral win. Otherwise, Edgeguards have to be pretty on point from H-Box's perspective. Zayn wants to make sure he's getting grabs in good positioning, but then there's a push-pull of grabs versus crouch from Jigglypuff. There's a lot of tiny little interactions that we'll try to go over. Are we gonna get the Genesis X doc? I mean, I have the footage from Bobak and the media guys that we worked with. I have a bigger project in mind for this year's Genesis without spoiling too much. I have been pitching tournaments on this project for like 2 to 3 years at this point, and Bobak is very interested in doing it for Genesis. It's just a matter of if the budget that I projected will work and if the resources that we wanted to put together will also work.
That was crazy. Did I go offline? Dude, the power just like surged.
Marth uses that up edge guard so well, yeah. Who's my rivals main? In Marvel or Rivals of Ether? The new Genesis naming convention is interesting. Yeah, it's not great. I think a lot of people had strong opinions about it, but you know. Genesis X3 is actually Genesis 14, so. But I get it, it's like the turning of a new chapter, right? How would I feel if I said, if you said the stream froze isn't actually happening? I'd be so sad after everything we went through, you and I together. Marvel, I play The Thing. I'm a tank main through and through. Every hero shooter I've ever played, which is Overwatch. Oh! Nice. I mean, that was pretty low risk, right? Why do I play Mario in SSBM? He's a tank. That's why. In Rivals, I played Jeff and just sit back and heal my friends. That's what's up. Jeff players have it made in the shade, dude. Jeff players just have not a care in the world. It's amazing. I'd love to see a Game & Watch player come up. There's a, like, Walmart Shoes is pretty good. And then there's Glock in my Toyota. Insane tag. Awesome player. Puff is a tank. That's actually so facts. Bear, okay. Oh, that was a crazy tech from Zayn. Right? He hit the ground? Okay. He didn't get a tech. I think he SDI'd into the ground. Yeah, PM Game & Watch is an abomination. You're right, Elliot. Anyways, just checking in, Walt. Hope all is well. Yeah, I hope you're doing well too. I was just actually, before you go, if you're leaving now, thanks for tuning in. I was just talking about how your grandma is awesome. So please tell her that I send my best because I miss talking with you guys. I literally like my YouTube chat was joking that we summoned you because as soon as I finished talking about how OG Grandma is like one of the coolest women I've ever met, you came into the Twitch chat. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, you can go back right like a few minutes before. But yeah, no, I appreciate it. Oh, that sucks. Okay. I love Game & Watch because he's really strange due to the way he was programmed. Yeah, in Melee, he's just a broken character. Oh my god, the hold down? He doesn't commit to counter hitting? That's insanely good. But you can only really do that for a few hits if you're H-Box. Again, the air-to-air is a little bit awkward, right? So if H-Box goes first and Zayn is grounded, while, yeah, look at exactly what happened here. So if Zayn is playing on the ground while H-Box is approaching in from the air, it basically gives Zayn exactly what he wants, which is a grab. That's a missed edge cancel. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. That one wasn't off the air. That was maybe just a hard read or maybe a missed input. But the point still stands, right? Like the whiff punish window that exists from HBox going from the sky to the ground is because Zayn can kind of block and then just get a counter hit up, or at least just use some movement. Talking to you is value wall. Thank you. Okay, no platforms is a pretty interesting one. To do Marth Killer 2.0, you need 2 SDI inputs, I'm pretty sure. I don't even think HBox was positioned for it. You have to shield tilt as well. This is, yeah, set up for Marth Killer 1.0, but you can just do Dare Rest. Zane's chat is writing 6-7. I'm scared. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Forward roll spot dodge. Forward roll spot dodge. Zayn can't hit it. How close was that, actually? Because Marth's grab is what, frame 7? So he can actually just kind of, yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3. Six. Yeah, that's really, really close. And then here, already dash grabbing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and he's spot dodging already. Really clean. One thing I kind of noticed is when both sides are in their spam mode, HBox with Bear and Zayn with Fair, Zayn kind of wins because of Marth being a better momentum character. HBox Nair helps interrupt. Yeah, I think that's like fair. Maybe like not exactly the reason. Like I feel as though, nice from HBox. I feel as though if they're both kind of like just walling the other out, Zayn can play a little bit more reactive because he can dash dance, right? Like he doesn't have to commit to jumps extremely early, where HBox's drift is a lot more potent of a tool to kind of get in. Here's the link. Oh, did it work? Do I have to like allow you to send links? I'm not good at streaming, for what it's worth. Love your content. I'm a puff, so I'm here taking notes. Oh, thank you so much. It's again, it's crazy to see, you know, channels that I have watched and admired say those things about me. So thank you. Genesis 6 was when was that when? No, Genesis 5 was when Hugo got top 8 over Amsa. Yeah, either or, Carthus, or if you want to, Carthus. Am I pronouncing it correctly? I never remember. Because there's an apostrophe in your actual, like, name, right? Isn't it possessive? But yeah, whatever works. Discord actually might be the easiest if you want to just add me there, but... Which, by the way, my infinite shill, join my Discord. Everybody who's not in there already, here you go. Enjoy this link. I'm gonna link it to all of you right now. Join my server. HBox should be wave dashing here. Yeah, he should. Within 5 frames of Marth hitting your light shield, HBox should be wave dashing. Yeah, wave dash would generally be better than the option, but I do understand if you're already, because like you have to consider the jump squat frames, which like, yeah, he would get out of the grab, but maybe he's just pretty conditioned to rolling in that spot. Please approach. All right, we're skipping this part. Okay, never mind. Nice. What'd he say? I don't know what he said. What? I looked away. I'm so confused. DM me the link with the correct time code. Thank you. I appreciate it. HBox 4 to 12. What was my prediction? I predicted 27 from HBox. What? Oh, that's actually genius. Wait, I saw that clip. I saw that clip on Twitter, I think. This is so genius. This is literally because of of spawn, where you spawn. And like maybe it wasn't on purpose, but because P2 spawns there, he gets to just drift to ledge and take it, because Zayn would have lived otherwise on any other port, I'm pretty sure. Holy moly. Again, 66 before the hit, which I think is, again, within range, yeah. There is like a 1 DI straight up at 66 means HBox lives in the corner, but he DI'd... I mean, he DI'd it pretty well. It might have just been... He might have just been dead based on positioning, and my calculator's a little off. He gets it. Oh yeah, because he's slightly closer to the blast zone. I think it's extremely close, but that's like pretty much guaranteed. It's so impressive. Okay. Little late on the ground. Oh, the wave dashes. Do I think there are any fundamental aspects of moves of the character that causes bad habits / assumptions for players involved? HBox trying bear as a dome instead of a wall that Zayn can hop right now. I mean, I think the character influences your habits 100%. Like, right? Like if your tools are extremely strong at doing a certain thing, especially at the mid level, like you're pretty conditioned to use the thing that will give you the best chance of winning or feel the most right to you. So I think there are some habits that do exist. For this player matchup in particular, Zayn has also like told me on record, like when I've interviewed him and commentated his sets, that he thinks, maybe not as much now, but like in the last couple of years, HBox had some like pretty glaring habits that he would go for, or HBox would like find one thing that worked extremely well against Zayn, so like the Marth Killer 2.0, for example, and basically tunnel vision on that one thing because it was working, which made him like a little bit predictable when it came to Zayn, because he was like, okay, well, I know he's gonna go for XYZ because he thinks it's extremely strong right now, so I have some good counterplay to get around it. So short answer is yes, I think people do get unconsciously influenced by these sorts of things. Zayn has said Dare Rest will change this matchup. Yeah, I think it's extremely good. Do you think it'll be significant when HBox starts landing it consistently? Yeah, so like one of the big points I brought up, and maybe you've watched it if you're a Puff player and you've seen my content, when I talked about HBox beating Zayn at Full House, Dare, it was one of the first things I brought up when we started the first to 50 too. Dare is Puff's fastest aerial, so if HBox is going to jump out like that, we'll see usually Dare, because if he hit confirms it, you can get a grab after, you can get a smash attack after sometimes, or you can connect into the rest, which will just get you the kill outright. Since HBox is so willing to let the rest rock, especially on Edgeguards, yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty important. Wow! That was partially platform and partially wave dash, right? Yeah, he would have gotten hit by that if they were both on ground level, even through the wave dash. Disgusting. Absolutely gross. Platform assisted wave dash rest, yeah. So true. Like that, yeah. Difficult to rest there. Oh, he's dead. Oh, no, he's not! He threw. Roughly correct for Zayn to go for that, but still. Like, you made it a last stock situation. Oh. You can't.
That one's a little bullshit, I won't lie.
Yeah, it was bullshit. Who is the best last stock situation character in Melee? God, there are so many situations, right? Like that high percent Fox is like, feels like such a dangerous character to play against because it's like you're tiptoeing around trying to find a killing move. HBox in any situation is just so clutch in last stock. Up tilt rest off double jump. Armada's Peach, yeah. Also true. Oh, I love that baby drift. That was so smart. So like I said before, platform positioning is a little bit Zayn favored in my opinion. Again, like there might be something HBox knows about here, but I think generally when HBox is on platforms, he's usually not winning a lot of engagements. Gets hit, out of shield bear. And then the babyest drift in after. So he weaves it out and then comes in during the fair, but because he drifted out initially, that fair is just barely out of range. Then he pancake times, lands, hits the up tilt. He's dead. Nice. So smart. And then he dies. All right. Well, you know, I tried to give you 1-1. Like I said, that falling up air is just free damage if you're gonna get the first hit there. Nice. Ooh, I like that little slip through.
Choose your character.
Are we for fucking real? Are we actually for real? Dash, pivot, tipper, in neutral, and he's even trying to get away. He knows what's coming. So HBox is dashing right. He's just uber dead.
Choose your character versus.
Do I count the jumps when I'm watching Puff? I try to. Like, if I'm commentating, absolutely. If I'm playing, sometimes I get lost in it, for sure. Ugh. Again, no platforms kind of changes the dynamic of this matchup a little bit. So, like I said before, we're watching for dash dance timings to coincide with drift-ins. I've said this before, but Zayn literally is Mewtwo King 2007 Part 2, and it's actually kind of concerning in the competitive aspect. No knock to against the guy or his dominance. Yeah, I mean, I think Mewtwo King was, what? I feel like 2007 Mewtwo King is, like, obviously he was extremely good, but, like, it's such a, it's kind of like a memed upon thing at this point now, right? Like, he was silently the best for, like, a very small period of time. And he was, he was undeniably the best in 2007. But yeah, I wonder what it's going to be like. Because I don't know if it's necessarily, like, Zayn is so dominant that he's unbeatable because, like, he didn't even win the latest major. But he is entering the conversation, for sure. I'll give you that. So air to air, HBox is winning a lot of these. Finally gets the dash grab and he's dead. So it's 16-4. We are 20 games in. We have 1 billion to go. Wow, such a smart recovery. Oh! The runaway? So Zayn isn't unstoppable, it's fine. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, there are players out there who, I mean, the players are Cody and Jmook, who have decent records against Zayn. But it is like a bit of an RPS, right? That's kind of what the 2023 top 3 was with the 3 of them. Not to say that Zayn cannot become that dominant, but I think there are players out there who have proven they can hang right now, which it's hard to say the exact same thing about comparing it to the era of the 5 gods. Wow, he is just absolutely flailing. So we're already seeing pretty clear edgeguard routes. That's the first time, or one of the first times, HBox has gone for specifically the shield grab facing forward into the up B, because there's a window that you can grab it, into the setup of Marth Killer 2.0 here.
Nice.
Is that 2.0? Yeah, it is, because you're not rolling into the ledge. or you're doing a neutral get up on. Nala ran to the ledge. Yeah, dude, Nala's a Falcon main through and through. I have a photo somewhere. She just rams into stuff, and she's just like 40 pounds of pure muscle, like destroying my. After I had surgery too, she jumped straight on my stomach. It was awesome. I love the drills from HBox. Unfortunately, there are plenty of good things I can point out from HBox's side, but like, look at what is reflected in the set count right now. Like, clearly some of these tools are not working. Did I clip Nala's ears? I did not. I actually found her on the streets. So, yeah, I basically left her as is. She needed to be spayed because I found her in South Carolina, and it's actually apparently illegal to breed dogs for good reason, for at least some of the fighting pits that are around there. And she's super cute. Ooh, late drill, roll, read, rest. Yeah, even Zayn's doing the stank face on that one. Yeah, pitties are the best. Super, super cute. They get a bad rap. All right, Juan, turning it up in game 22. Or game 23, I guess. I think this is the other thing too about, especially when players analyze stuff, is you often look, and even in commentary, this is the thing that pretty much every commentator does because it's just natural, right? Like, you speak from the perspective of one player. So a lot of what I do when I cast these sets is spoken from the perspective of Hungrybox, because he's usually the losing player in this matchup. So it's like, what does the losing player need to do in order to overcome the winning player? And there, like I said, there's plenty of tools out there that HBox and others have developed in this matchup, but I just think Zayn's too good at it right now. Also, as an update, I see Cody is in the chat of this VOD talking about a first to 100, which sounds like a totally brutal existence. I wonder why Zayn goes for dare down tilt. If it's just for damage. Like, can you connect grab? Or I guess, like, force the... maybe at low percent, like, you're not getting a knockdown that you want. Will HBox ever drill rest consistently? I think he will do far better in the matchup when he starts to. Oh, that worked out. Until it didn't. So that stock in particular, right, Johnny Beans? So drill up smash will still get you the kill on certain stages, like it did there, but you have to play for higher percents when drill rest could just probably win it in fewer interactions. So I think the sooner he starts getting consistent and like good at finding his windows for that, the better he's going to do against Zayn. I think when he loses the plot against HBox, that's when HBox can start to run away with some of these games. And that, in the collision set this year, HBox should have won, to be honest, but he didn't, because I think Zayn was playing really, really scrappy in some of the early games, and then just kind of put it together at the end. Tap jump has been killing HBox the later we get into the meta. I honestly agree. Yeah, so much tech he can't do because he tap jumps. It takes away fractions of movement for his drift, which I think is going to be extremely relevant. And also the stick movement required for drill rest, like, you have to jump first, so it is a little bit awkward, right? Like, to go up enough on the gate to get a jump and then down enough to get the rest. It's a little bit awkward in terms of just like ergonomics. So I do agree with you there. But like, how do you unlearn something like that at this stage of your career, right? Like, if you've been throwing dimes your whole life as a quarterback on, you know, like on whatever football team you like, and then suddenly they're like, well, there's a new way to throw and it's actually better, and you'll be so much better at being a quarterback if you start doing it this way. Like, obviously you want to learn it, but at the same time, HBox is still the third best player in the world, having not done it that way. Ooh, reverse hit. Maybe that's actually fortunate for him. Oh, why? Why would you risk it? Okay, well, because Zayn was...
So much ass.
It's because Zayn messed up too. He had so much time, right? Up air. I think he was late on the RTC. Again, it's cool that he's going for it.
So much ass.
HBox's chat was teaching him wave dash sing drop, and he couldn't do it because of tap jump. What is the wave dash sing drop? Is this something that I've seen before? I'm sure I have. You play on Pro Controller, 2 to 3 hours of Ultimate is about 10 minutes of Melee roughly. Wow, that's insane. You should get a box controller. I mean, at that rate. Or just play Marvel Rivals, dude. Excuse me? Who thinks about naring there? With his double jump too. I mean, he's gonna recover obviously, but if he misses, he's not. It's not like he's in a doom spot. But second hit nair practically in the blast zone, I think kills like at even earlier. Yeah, I mean, you're basically kissing the blast zone at that point. I don't think it matters what percent. Like, you would have to be at like, yeah, I think that close to the blast zone, you could probably get a kill at like 20, which is pretty wild. So Zayn said he has to stop playing Scrappy and then proceeded to lose a bunch of games. Ooh! Wow, wave dash through, dash attack. Gets the wall bounce he wants. Someone in Zayn's chat at this point said, Zayn, you're so good at this game, please don't go bald. If any character were to be in the next Smash in 2028, who would they be? I've wanted Gino for a long time, just as Unk, as many people in the chat has been calling me today. I don't know. I guess like Waddle Dee would be cool. Like any character that was in Smash Flash that hasn't made it into the main roster yet. Also, we got Sora already. Give us Black Mage. That'd be fun. Mario's probably going to be in it. That's a bold prediction, Elliot. I don't know. Characters are going to be in the next Smash game. I think, what if they... Hang on, you're onto something here. What if they took the everybody is here motto and made it nobody is here? It's not even a game. God. Anytime I need to switch my sleep schedule, my brain likes to not let me sleep. I was gonna wake up early. I have like 4 hours, so it's not to sleep. Okay, I mean, as long as you feel okay. Got any tips for dealing with tap jump in Melee? I find myself accidentally jumping a lot when I try to dash dance. Genuinely don't know what I'm doing wrong. I feel like you will probably just get more comfortable with how your controller in particular allows you to move as you just get more reps with the game. It's hard to just be like, well, just hold the stick left or right instead of up, because sometimes you're just going to accidentally move it up, maybe like with your thumb or whatever. I think just getting reps is probably the quick answer.
You got that.
Okay, HBox getting some games on the board. We're in game 31. Should I be a weirdo and invest in a box just because it's better? I mean, if you like a box style controller, give it a shot. Oh no, Zayn's laughing at him. That's not good. I don't think there's anything wrong with the ergonomic controllers, right? Like, there's just people who will complain about them being unfair, which, like, in some capacity they are, but I don't know if he should be drifting in when he's already losing that interaction so hard. Yeah, and he's got a read on the platform movement too. So like I said, like, platform positioning is sometimes pretty bad for HBox if he doesn't just immediately get out and dodge. So the way that you get around that are shield drops, edge cancels, or just not engaging with the platform entirely. It can be a little bit telegraphed if you're hard drifting towards the edge of a platform to know it's coming, and even if you take a traded hit, you are feeling so fine if you're Zayn in this moment. Oh, it was. Okay, I want you to remember the count was 5 to 20 at the 25 game mark. This will be important later. Okay, so HBox got a handful of wins when he was down pretty bad. He might go on a run. Nice, okay. Karthu, I hope you did you soft spoil this? Is HBox about to go on a heater? I think he's about to go on a heater.
No.
Oh, okay, he's dead. Again, I like that he's going for it though, right? Because like eventually they're gonna start connecting when it matters the most. Holy moly. Like, the damage per engagement has to be so Zayn favored, though, which is why this matchup is so, you know, Zayn heavy. What if HBox is just using options he won't opt in for in tournament to condition Zayn for their next bracket encounter? Fair, except HBox isn't beating Zayn in tournament. So I truly believe, like, even though this is a pretty low stakes 1st to 50 match, he is trying to genuinely learn the things that he can do against Zayn. What mechanic do you think is going to be the most intrusive mechanic for the next Smash game? Let's bring back tripping, yo. What do you think? Tripping based. I mean, this is crazy good VOD review footage for HBox, plus he can try out a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think that's the point, right? Like, as he has so many games to be able to just, like, do stuff. If he wants to pitch a game away that it costs him $0, then yeah, he can do it if it gets him information. And that probably is in part why he's so down to just let rest go when he's at kill percent. Because it's like, okay, maybe I'll just, like, build that mental muscle memory and confidence to be able to go for it when it matters more. H-Daddy. I won't say how good H-God did. Please, thank you. I appreciate that. The Crimson Blur would 100-0 Zayn in a 1st to 50. Scary wave dashes. Did every top player play Zayn 1st to 50, or was it just Moki HBox? I think it was Moki, HBox, Crudo. I know Mono did it, and I don't know if anyone else. Someone in chat probably knows, though. Did I see Ludwig versus Zayn 1st to 100? Do I want to see that? Was that real? Oh, was it the one where Ludwig had, where Zayn only had 1 stock in every game? Because that's kind of beast. Oh, Axe did it also? Oh, and Bobby Big Balls, you're right. Zayn started with 99 losses, so he had to win 100 games in a row. That's disgusting. That's so funny. Me and Zayn talked about doing a video together where, like, every time he beats me, I get to, like, take away one of his moves. And, like, we would mod it so that if he tried to input the move, it just wouldn't work. But I don't know if that would be that interesting, because it would eventually just become a point where he's beating me by, like, I don't know, like, only down tilting or whatever. Oh, TC Nick, he probably did do it. Because I am blatantly copying a bunch of his videos, but for Melee. Nick's a friend of mine, actually. I met him, and I actually queued into Nick in Marvel Rivals, like, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. Ooh, okay. Let him cook. It's not the curtain. The curtain is not falling at all, that guy. When I met him for the first time, we were at a karaoke bar, and I blatantly said, I'm stealing your ideas from Ultimate, and I'm going to try to do them in Melee. Because I think he has good, fun little, like, game show things. Super weird question, but HBox might be the player most likely to win a least different buttons press challenge. If you don't count, like, stick movement, or, like, if you're not counting it as, like, APM, then, like, yeah, I think you're right. Bowser player, probably. Yeah, it's possible. You know, like, the thing people talk about a lot for comms is, like, HBox's APM is, like, weirdly high for Melee because of the amount of drifting he does, and because he tap jumps. So he'll tap jump and then drift, and all of those count as separate actions for APM calculation. There's the drill. Doesn't matter that it missed. He still got the grab. Drill out a shield. Zayn's clued in. Wait a minute. HBox? Double digits? It could actually be 0 also, because he probably C-sticks for some aerials. Or a lot of them. I was in one of your comment replies earlier. Any additional thoughts on Battle of BC and Nintendo licensing? Oh, I did see that. I'm sorry I didn't respond. I was just setting up for this stream. Yeah, I was being extremely sarcastic. I didn't really know if I wanted to get into, like, a long response over something like that, but I think the thing is, like, Nintendo has been doing stuff like that for a long time. I will give some level of benefit of the doubt and say, I feel like some of it is probably because people who do Melee things are pretty bad at following directions, and sometimes they are lazy. Not to say that this is exactly the case, but I'm sure there were some level of guidelines out there that said submit your application for licensing X number of weeks before your planned event. And it is possible that wasn't done. If it did happen, and you know, like obviously like the relationship with Nintendo is extremely strained and tenuous, right? So it's, you know, it could have been a cocktail of different things, but I don't know. To say that like Nintendo hasn't done this in the past, I don't think is exactly true, because they have very blatantly tried to block events from happening, and they're not subtle about it. For all the marbles, well, if one character from another Smash game would have been in Melee, then who? Who would I have wanted in Melee? Wasn't Banjo-Kazooie supposed to be in it? Or like was a high vote? I feel like that would have been fun. Don't give him Ultimate's engine though. Z for L cancel, grab and aerials is so gross. I don't know why he does it. Yeah, you're so true. Wow. I mean, Zayn was low percent, so like he could just hold down for that anyway, but the awareness is so sick. So sick. Okay, nice. Oh, HBox won a, yeah, okay. HBox is going on a heater. I think L is a more comfortable button for wave dashing or trigger because, what's up Carson, by the way? I think it feels good to people because it's a separate hand. So you're not like moving the same inputs with, you know, your right hand if you're using face buttons to jump, but it is apparently ergonomically worse because you're like straining your wrists to do something like that. Zump is just bumper jumper, but it is the principle of it. I don't know who Jonesy is. Is that a Fortnite person? Is that the meme? Is that Ginger? Modern controllers, Ryfry, can have motherboards that can remap control settings for Melee. So like, a lot of the best Fox players in the world, like Cody, Joshman, and otherwise, use Z to jump because it allows you to do extremely fast and low aerials. Zayn is taking mental damage now. I think this is what I was talking about earlier. I think streaks are so interesting in a format that's as long as this, because if you just start going on an absolute bender and like you just lose and lose and lose and lose, and you're like, dang. Now I have to come back 20 games. How am I supposed to win? Which, you know, ultimately, based on my prediction of 27-50, Zayn favorite, I'm sure HBox is going to experience that feeling at some point. Oh, he's running out of shield. That actually makes the interaction really weird for HBox, because usually he's so comfortable holding shield and waiting for the shield grab like this. That's unfortunate. I think Wispy pushed him, so he got shield poked, and then died. Actually, I want to see that. Or did he just try to grab early? Yeah, he did. Oh, no, he didn't. He got shield poked. Yeah, because he was spaced correctly if he were to be a little bit further back so that he probably wouldn't have gotten shield poked with the shield angle down. But because Wispy pushed him closer to the edge, his back got shield poked. That's so gross. Okay, there's the grab he talked about. Was that port priority? Can't be. No, not even close. Not even close, okay. I love the grabs. I love the grab edgeguard tree. It's really good, but the thing that I wonder would develop is the shield break attempt that we saw from Zayn, especially if Zayn is starting from above the ledge. If he drifts in shield breaks, it kind of disincentivizes HBox from just holding shield in that position. Nice wait. Nice, I like that setup too. You can't go for it every time, obviously. God. Are we doing on time? Oh my god. I don't think this goes until... I can't look at the preview. I think there's only a couple hours, but... Oh god, I gotta have food. I'm hungry. What am I supposed to do about this? Holy shit. Alright, Zayn, win 25 in a row, so I can go have dinner. Oh my god, he's locked in. Oh, empty land turnaround grab. Ooh, that's so clean. He tried to edge cancel, I think, too. Oh my god. Just DoorDash, but I don't want to eat on stream. I feel like that's rude. I have food in the fridge. I just have to eat it. All right, fine. I'll deliver. How about that? You guys want to pick my meals? We'll do it like a Hungrybox stream. What am I eating? I don't know how that works. Aren't I supposed to get subs for that? That's what I watched HBox get like legitimately 100 subs because people wanted to vote on what he was gonna eat for dinner. I don't like Pizza Hut or Domino's that much, but I will admit I did actually order Domino's a couple days ago, so that's what I have in the fridge. I could just reheat it. Okay, you convinced me. I'm gonna preheat my oven.
A few moments later.
Okay, did I miss something cool? HBox heater, a new streak. Looking at this and doing an analysis on the adaptations HBox made would go hard. That's kind of what I'm doing, Ventus, but like I was originally gonna do this as just a straight YouTube video, but it like the preparation and writing would have taken forever. So I think it's just better suited for stream content. Oh shit, Zane's on last stock on the win streak one. Oh, now HBox is gonna be on last stock. This is insane. Oh! God, it's just, I feel like the follow-ups, like knowing if Zayn got the correct DI off of certain throws, they're just so automatic for him. This is grab again. Yeah, but he was a little bit late. Oh my god, tipper off the backboard, Space Jam. Let's get it. Oh, the slant kind of messed that up, even though it was standing grab.
That's clutch.
Wow. Yeah, he's clutch. He's so clutch. It is crazy that like neither of them talked at all in this, and they're just so locked in. Oh my god, the knowing. The absolute knowing. That pound is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. That pound has gotten HBox punished for many, many years. Ooh, nice. I love the touchdown. Touchdown Juan. Grab. Yep. Now you have your flowchart. Ooh, so clean. And a stock. Really good. Oh! This is what I'm talking about. Platforms are so bad. Honestly, best possible outcome too. You get the edge cancel so you can pretty much immediately go for shield breaker instead of waiting to land and jump again. That is absolutely fucking disgusting. If only HBox would shield drop rest. Yeah, I mean, look, I have pointed it out many times. There comes a certain point where it's frustrating for me as a commentator. And I've talked about this before. There are certain tournaments where our comms will play through the house, so the players can hear us. And there will be moments where I feel as a caster I'm legitimately coaching in certain places, and I'm like, man, every time HBox lands on a platform, he dies, and that feels weird. Maybe he should stop doing that. And then he keeps doing it, and then he loses. But he heard me the whole time. All right, we are approaching an inflection point here. Zayn potentially hitting 30 wins. Would you say that any other top Marth is even close to Zayn's level or nah? In modern Melee, no. If we were to like compare time periods in a vacuum, I would say Mewtwo King's Marth is very similar, just in terms of overall dominance. But there's no one that's like close to his level with the same character. I mean, I think Ossify is good, but I do not think he's necessarily the same level of dominance as Zayn, right? Like, there are only, you know, probably 2 players who are active in the scene right now who have reasonable match histories against this player. That's an absurd stat, right? Like, he's so good against the entire field. The thing that's kind of interesting about this, and someone in Zayn's chat pointed it out, which I cut off, obviously, but I think this is probably the point where some fatigue starts to set in. So the people who are asking in chat about like, how do long matches go? Like there really aren't a lot of data points to suggest like a certain player would do better than the other. I think you just kind of get a little lazy in some of your decision making. That's crazy that that's gonna work. He's gonna die for that.
Good edge cancel.
Good edge cancel. He's such an asshole. But this is what I mean, right? Like the platform telegraphing is pretty obvious to Zayn at this point, or he can just cover more than one option. Because that covers land on platform into shield. It covers a lot. So for H-Box, I think what you do is you just get out and dodge, but the problem is then you have to spend another resource, which is your jump, and Zayn can just shark you. So it's kind of a tricky thing. So it's like I'm speaking in general platitudes by saying like him landing on platforms isn't that great for H-Box, but at the same time, what are his other options? The thing is too, like in the general sense of Marth's struggles to get kills at high percent, like yes, that's true, but also he can just do this forever. Like a Fair is gonna kill here. Fair or Nair is pretty much gonna kill here unless he holds straight down. Wow, nice tech. To a certain extent, like, yeah, Jigglypuff can fall out of Marth's confirms, but he still has Dancing Blade up tilt, he still has random aerial that can tipper and kill off the top, versus H-Box, like, he kind of just needs to get a couple neutral wins and then maybe get an early rest to, you know, keep the percent disparity in his favor. Godzilla in melee would be hilarious, don't mind me, just a random thought. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, absolutely beast game. Dude, he did that earlier in the set, except he ended it with double jump Nair. That's so good that he just goes for, obviously he's following the DI, right? Like he's not gonna connect a Nair there ever, but that's so fucking good. And the fact that he gets a kill for it, because he's, again, essentially kissing the blast zone is so sick. Marthritis is a thing, but then that shit happens. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at, right? The situations where Marthritis is really bad against the rest of the cast is like kind of acceptable or fine against Puff. Not to say that like you want to be in that position. I'm saying it's not the worst thing in the world if you swat them at 150 and they die, versus if you swat Amsa's Yoshi at 150 and you still have another 150% left to take the stock or whatever. Marthritis is Zayn propaganda? Yeah, you heard it here first. From Zayn himself. Wow, he did the exact same pop-off as Genesis when he got the up smash tipper too. Disgusting. That dare was genius. Forces him into tech on top platform. He could get a grab. So smart. Meanwhile, H-Box is just clocking in on this game, but I learned something, actually, related to this Edgeguard attempt, or at least I hadn't really paid too close attention to it before. If you edge cancel Marth's back air, because he doesn't complete the animation that turns him around, he still stays facing the same way. So there's these really kind of like weird, janky Edgeguard cases that you can go for. I think there was a clip from Nouns Tokyo or otherwise where he does that, and he gets like bear or something like that, and it's actually really cool because like just specifically the way that those hits interacted with each other allowed him to pretty much get a stock. Just thought that was kind of cool overall. Anyway, he's dead. Wow. Okay, the pullback slightly from the F smash, sick. Great tech, but I think you want a jump tech, which is why he buffered a back air. The lower tech means that you can just up B again. So it might have been a little bit of a misplay on Zayn's part. That's so crazy that he can just go for, like, he's F smashing empty space more or less on a dashback, because if H-Box runs into it, it's awesome for him. But if he doesn't, the spacing is like a little bit too wide that H-Box doesn't really have a strong punish. So sick. Zayn is also cracked 30. Do I want to repredict the set count? I'm going to hold to my original, 27 to 30. He only needs 9 more wins to get there before Zayn gets 19. Yeah, we talked about it earlier, Roombus Bomb. I don't know if you were in the chat before when we were talking about like the Pew Pew days, but It was extremely bad before the Marth started doing pivot tippers. Do y'all think Luigi could be the next Donkey Kong, as in they're a mid-tier that ends up getting some recognition? He already is. Rap Monster is amazing. I wonder if all of those... Wow, he still gets it. I wonder if all of the pounds are him attempting to full drift rest, and he's messing up the drill rest, as we talked about from some of the chatters over on Twitch. Because it's like, at that percent, what motivates you to pound? I think it's just an error. Because like, is he drifting down? Yeah, he is. It has to be an error. Oh, he did say it. He confirmed that he's just messing up. Or did he confirm that he's doing pounds on purpose? Because I don't think that's good if he's doing it on purpose. He confirmed he's messing it up. Okay, thank you for confirming the confirm. That makes a lot of sense now. Yeah, because he has done that for a while. He's got to put the reps in for that. It's just tough. That's what I mean, right? Like Marth can just hit Puff with an up air at like 110, and it's like super chill because he's just gonna still get the off the top KO anyway. Other characters, he's not getting that. Dude, it's insane that like I did a whole segment on drop down fair as an edgeguard route for Hbox, and Zayn has already figured out solutions to it. Like I don't know if I've seen like more than a handful of that edgeguard route for Hbox fully connect and take a stock, which is wild to me. So on Zayn's side, it's like, if you're gonna do the dare train, it's just such high EV for him. Oh, that's it. I wonder if maybe you just go crazy and expect him to just get up or like hit a tech and then instant shield so that he just doesn't take the pummeling, and then you can maybe add a layer of the shield break again, or a grab if Hbox is gonna shield. But like, you know, again, I circle back to the idea that pretty much all of the onus in creating adaptations that will sway the matchup in a certain direction is on Hbox, right? Because he's the one losing in most of these games. So like, Zayn doesn't necessarily have to do that much different because he's still winning with all of this stuff. My goat washed for real, for real. I wouldn't call it washed. I just think he... Unfortunately, the current top two have incredibly good matchups into him now. I think he needs to just make some changes if he wants to keep up. By how much is Hbox Zayn winning? The set count is underneath Zayn's player cam. So it's 32 to 19 currently. Yeah, Zayn and Cody are top two specifically because they can beat Hbox. I think it goes beyond that a little bit, but it is like, yeah, that is one way to spin it, right? Like, Hbox is top three because he can't beat top two consistently, but he beats everyone else pretty consistently. Okay, there was a bit of a timing delay there. So instead of going dare dare immediately on the tech, you're waiting for Hbox's movement. He got a fair instead. But yeah, I think what the Kaseki is saying is pretty much exactly what I'm getting at. Is like, it's easier to like polish the wheel than it is to reinvent it, right? For Hbox, he has to come up with something that A, works, and then B, continues to work, versus Zayn, because like I mentioned earlier, there are a couple of like edgeguarding decision trees or like neutral things that he's doing that worked for a period of time, but then Zayn adapts to it and it's not working anymore. And that's the cool thing about Melee in general, right? Is like, there are old techniques that just kind of like make their way back in this circular pattern and become like kind of relevant again, which is pretty cool to me. So gotta be pretty careful with how you spend your jumps to go back to the ledge. Whew. Empty hop is, again, pretty good idea, but at that percent, a little tough. There's an alternate universe where Walt dual mains Mario and Luigi and becomes top 10 easily in his first year of tournaments. I don't know about that one. It's the singular reality that Doctor Strange sees. I'd rather be a commentator in most of those realities, I feel. I can't even imagine how much your hands must hurt after this long of a match. Yeah, I did eat. I had some leftover pizza So I just heated a little bit of that up, and unfortunately I ate it on stream, which I'm not proud of, but I was hungry and I didn't want to stop the stream because I want to go to bed at a reasonable hour tonight. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, Zayn almost 15 away from closing it out. Imagine if they go 49 to 49 just to troll us. That would be actually absurd. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna happen, but it would be pretty crazy to get a first to 50 going the distance for 99 games. Oh, he waited. He didn't jab reset. That's really good. Look at Zayn's face. Which J-Mook combo was better? The one versus Moki at Genesis or the one versus Zayn at Nouns? Recency bias is telling me the Nouns one is better, but the Genesis one is just so good.
And then what Moki will do with this pressure is he makes it tricky too, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't just, he won't go in there, nair shine, right? He'll like drill, then like cross up tilt or something. I don't know. He just makes it as complicated as possible. But I was talking about Moki. J-Mook is,
That was a full combo.
And I did call it like the greatest Sheik combo ever performed or something like that, right? Ooh, nice. Really smart from Hbox. So how do you get away? Okay, you just drill your way out of invincibility. Oh, the bear trap! Grounded poundin'. Grounded. That's so insane that worked. I like that a lot. That's an adaptation. Instead of rolling and then buffering hold shield, which is what you would do for Marth Killer, and that's exactly something that Zayn is waiting for, right? Because Hbox is just giving him shield, or Hbox is presenting shield to kind of like goad Zayn into a certain option. Immediately jumps down, and then it forces Zayn to kind of panic on his recovery, loses the first stock. Really nice. Yeah, I didn't think that there weren't adaptations, Waddle. I think it's just like it's about who can go on the better streaks, and Zayn's just gonna go on such a long streak versus Hbox's. Oh my god! He almost edge canceled again. Full drift left means he gets the edge cancel. Maybe he thought it wasn't going to work out because the platform was going into the stage. Ooh! Hbox is in need of a major comeback. Someone get him to soup. It is so impressive to have a player like Hbox have the longevity that he does, you know? But I really like the video you made where you analyzed Hungrybox's pop-offs, one of the funniest videos ever. The funny thing about that is the first one I did, on the one where Hbox fainted, I was legitimately at my job as an engineer when I did the real napkin math to calculate a couple of things. Like, there were a lot of bad assumptions and bad data and math that I put into it, but it was real math that I did to calculate that first one, which is pretty insane. I remember I showed it to one of my coworkers and they were just like, "You're so stupid." We have real fake math here for Hungrybox pop-offs, yeah? That's the way. I think I have a photo of it somewhere. I'm gonna find it. Oh, he did the same setup as like game 8. Yeah, the double jump nair just kills so remarkably early.
I love that.
This is the napkin math, by the way. You guys can see it. I wrote it on Snapchat. Real math. Please keep doing Hbox pop-offs for April 1st videos, please, as long as he keeps doing it. I think Hbox was chemical, I was biomedical. There exists at least enough of a pipeline of engineer to making some level of a career in Smash from the two of us, which is, you know, a cool thing that we have in common, I guess. Sometimes it feels like no one outside the top 3 cares, like they obviously don't like losing, but they just don't have nearly comparable work ethics. I can see it, honestly. I feel like the harsh reality is like and the people on, you know, whatever forums, whether it's like Reddit or Twitch chats when I commentate or whatever, who give me shit, sometimes they're just like, oh, okay, you're taking it too seriously, right? And I think the cruel reality of that statement, because I kind of agree with you, is for most of the people who aren't the current top 3, it's not like really a viable career option, right? Like the money isn't really there. Sponsorships are pretty hard to come by. I think a lot of players are, if I'm being honest, pretty terrible at marketing themselves. The fact that like I could have multiple sponsors before like Cody Schwab is pretty insane to me. And you know, like kind of says a lot about the ecosystem that we live in. It is extremely difficult to carve out a career path in this game, so maybe that's why it gives a perception off to you that like the people outside of the very tippy top of the game don't care that much, but I totally get what you're saying. And also to iPonce's reply to you, it does require a certain level of obsession, right? Like not many people want to be like doing this thing for content, right? Like they just want to play. Just got an ad for Bitcoin on YouTube in this economy. I think if I were to do like a really serious, robust breakdown of all of these games, which again is what I was originally gonna do, but now that I'm watching it and seeing how long it's taking just to live watch and react to stuff, I'm realizing that would have been incredibly stupid and a pretty big waste of my time. But if I were to do like a big write-up on this set, I think the biggest things I'd want to really dive into are who was winning more frequently on the FD games, because the lack of platforms matters a lot, and I think it really exemplifies how the neutral wins and then HBox's Edgeguards are going if HBox is winning more frequently. And then I guess like certain things where you see the exact same combos again, like that fair double jump nair from Zayn to just kill it like 50 on Yoshi's. Like I think that joins his repertoire of things to do against Jigglypuff now. I use an ad blocker based. Oh! Aren't those even stock trades just better for Puff? In a vacuum, maybe. Like I think if they're ending evenly, then yeah, it's sure. It's just a hard reset, right? Like, I don't think it's necessarily undeniably better for Jigglypuff or not. Engineer to Smash pipeline discussion has me booting up my job hunting again. Don't say that. No, get a job. Get the job. Imagine how tired Zayn and HBox were. Yeah. What are you trying to survivor's guilt me? Oh, poor me. Streaming is harder than working a 9-to-5. So this is what I mean, like tipper fares, especially at this percent, like depending on where they connect, will just be an off the top kill. Or just, yeah, he can just clip it on the nair on the drift in. Zayn, 14 games away. Engineer to content creator pipeline is the real stat to peep. Yeah, Markiplier started that. Markiplier was also Biomed, right? If y'all can follow your dreams, then I'm gonna find it too, I swear. Hey, listen, no, I'm not trying to say like don't follow your dreams. If that's something that you want to do, then try it. I'm saying if you are studying for finals and you are this close to getting a degree, then get the degree, and you have a very safe and good backup to have. And that was the thing that kind of like gave me some level of solace when I was deciding if I wanted to like work in esports for a period of time. You know, my girlfriend had just said to me, at the end of the day, you have a master's degree in engineering, which is not something a lot of other people can say, so you can just be an engineer again if you ever wanted to go back to that career or it doesn't work out here. So all I'm saying is, like, I'm not trying to be like, don't follow your dreams or be like this fucking like curmudgeon-y guy. I'm just saying, have options. You know, it can be cool to be like, oh, I followed my dreams and I, you know, got this career in esports, or specifically Smash, if that's something that you're interested in. There's no money in Smash. There's just zero money. That's why, like, I do YouTube, and that's why I work with all these esports teams, because paying the bills by just being like a Smash guy is just not really like feasible for 99% of people in the community. And that goes back to the other guy's comment too, of like maybe that gives off the perception of people don't really care, because, you know, like it circles back to this is just a thing that's fun and cool to a lot of people, and it's a career to like the 1%. What do you think HBox would have to do to start beating Zayn? It seems low-key impossible as a spectator. I think his edge guards need to be a lot better and a lot less telegraphed. I think the way that he handles landing on platforms is still like highly abusable. And then he needs to hit drill rests. He can't mess those up with all of the pounds that we're seeing. Because that is going to be a huge difference maker if they continue to play sets at this level, you know, down the road. Shield drop rest, that's another adaptation. 32 to 22 is actually kind of crazy. A lot of these first to X are incredibly lopsided. I think Mono got like 2 games, and Mono's also very good for what it's worth. Dang, he's reading him.
That was reaction, I can't tell.
You know who inspired Markiplier and Northern Lion? Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah, Markiplier is the blueprint, like, to be completely honest. Yeah, I've got my job and CS background on lock. I'm just out here starting to throw out more apps again because I kind of fell off the wagon for a bit. Yeah, totally get it. It happens. I think the important thing, and this is me providing very unsolicited advice, so you really do not have to listen to this at all, is, you know, there are going to be moments in life where you feel like you're falling off the wagon and things like that. I think the important thing is if there's something out there that you feel strongly about and you want to try to do it, then just fucking try it, right? Like, that's what I did with YouTube. I taught myself how to edit while I was in college. I learned video, having not been a film person ever. And now I am hardcore media guy. It's what I do for my actual job, aside from the stuff I do in esports. And I think a lot of that for me was like a confidence booster, because it was like, hey, I built this basically on my own grit and like volition, as opposed to like the degree that I got. But circling back to the original thing, the degree will always be there. So like if I ever wanted to turn around and like go for engineering again, it'll always be there. There will always be jobs there. So I don't know. Moral of the story is like, just stay confident, man. Like, don't try to like psych yourself out and think you can't do it. Like, that's the whole point of trying things, right? Like, you figure out if A, you like it, and B, you're good at it, and C, if you want to keep doing it. So keep trying. I wish this melee stuff was more viable for people as a living. Yeah, I mean, look, there is a not so Nintendo elephant in the room, a Nintendo-sized elephant in my belly or whatever. That makes it pretty difficult, right? Like, and it's so crazy to me that if Nintendo was a company that wasn't so rooted in traditional values, or like traditional Japanese values, I feel as though they could be even more remarkably successful than they already are, which is the crazy part. Like, imagine if, because like what, Dota was made because some guy made a mod of a game already, and Valve was like, all right, tight, let's do it. Imagine if Nintendo saw what Melee was doing, and then they were like, cool, what if we made cosmetics available for your favorite characters? You could add microtransactions. As much as that sucks for us as consumers, for Nintendo, they're like, seeing the dollar signs, it's great. There's so many opportunities. I thought, like, back during the online era, tournaments could have, you know, like, we had a Pokemon Stadium with the Pokeball emblem was like the logo of the event. Like, events could pay for certain branding baked into the stage assets or something like that. You could have like your sponsors baked into the stage assets, things of that variety. Teams, HBox could have a Team Liquid H, you know, headband. There's so much opportunity, but like the infrastructure is just not there, and it never will be, which is, you know, it's fine to some people. I think for me, like, that always wanted it to be something more to a lot of people, it makes me sad. A lot of people are saying HBox has really improved on his rest setups, but I'm not sure it's that big of a winning factor against Zayn specifically. I agree. Him improving his grounding game, on the other hand, that was something very clear that I pointed out when I did the full house analysis. Pretty much every time I commentate these two on stream, I talk about specifically the ground game and how important the wave dashes are for HBox. HBox kind of saved Smash as a whole during COVID with the online tournaments he ran. Yeah, I think he did a lot of really good things for the community that, you know, definitely go unnoticed at sometimes. The other thing during COVID, which I was actually planning on doing a video on, so I'll probably do a little bit more of a talk on it, was 5 days of Melee. That shit changed my life and really got me involved a lot more closely with the scene. Everything in Melee has been downhill since 2022. I don't think that's exactly true. I think you know, perception of things has gone downhill because people are doom scrolly online weirdos sometimes. But I don't really think like things went downhill after 2022. I think I don't even know like what would make you believe that from 2022 to 2033. If it's just like the melee got worse, then maybe. But I thought 2023 was an amazing year for melee. Oh, okay. I like empty land jab at like medium percents, right? It's just kind of a shield check. Dude, these drop fares from Hbox straight up are not working. Like he's getting maybe 1 out of 5. Wow, okay, now he's just flailing, so. Oh, that would have been sick. I feel as though like rumors of Melee's death are greatly exaggerated all the time though, right? But at the same time, I totally get it when people talk about how Smash has this like awful reputation because it's always the bad things that are publicly happening. I think so many tournaments shutting down is having a negative impact on the game. Hopefully more new ones come up soon. That is pretty true. The problem is that it is expensive to run a tournament, and a lot of people don't really feel comfortable being the person or entity to front that money. High tournament cost saddens me because my real passion is events planning, but the financial viability of TOing is a real deal breaker. I mean, I would also argue that like, I don't even think, and like, I'm not trying to like Pokemon you with Mina cookies or whatever, but like, I don't think the prices of tournaments are even outrageous. Like, for some events, it's like $50 to get a pass, right? Or I think like Genesis was like 70 or 80. Like when you do that math, that's $30 a day. That's not really like an insane cost. I understand like paying all of it up front might be like cost prohibitive to some people. I really do. Like, I totally get it. I don't know, Brawlhalla, for instance, like BCX ran this year. You could get a 3-day pass for Brawlhalla for BCX for, I think, $10. Like, that's fucked up cheap. That's crazy cheap. Like there is a balance of, like, you need to turn a profit, right? Otherwise, you can't keep running these events in the red forever and ever and ever. Nice from Zayn. It really feels like Puff doesn't have any great ways to combo Marth when looking at these two. Yeah, I mean, the way that Hbox wins is conversions into rest at like medium percents to kind of like win in the war of percent battles. Because like I said before, like Marth being able to give himself Marthritis but like randomly get a kill with a tipper fair where he cannot do that in other matchups is a pretty significant benefit to just going pound for pound in hits with Puff. So Hbox wins with rests and Hbox wins with Edgeguards. Oh my god. F smashing and it tippers because Hbox is shield dropping. Absolutely disgusting. Oh! Mashing rest? Dude, so he got wiggle out rest? That was gross. Yeah, I think he SDI'd it up, but he also entered tumble, right? So he had to have wiggled out. Hbox is one game away from getting to my prediction number, so he might do better. Do I miss GR Smash videos? Yeah, I mean, he kind of like randomly dipped into video essay for a couple videos, and they were good. I still think like Awesome Sauce is pretty correct, like I've talked to him about like melee content in particular, and there is like an OG... What? There is like a OG Awesome Sauce sized hole in melee content. I'm talking about original Awesome Sauce of him like doing compilations of tournaments and things of that variety. You know, I actually almost became the editor for the reads. This is actually insane lore while Zayn is like literally bobbing and weaving and he's 3-stocking Hbox. This is crazy. Before Ludwig became famous, Ludwig followed me. He followed me first and was trying to get me to be an editor for the reads, basically to like help him with their production, and it just kind of like never came about. Like I met Ludwig at a tournament in 2018 or something like that. Yeah, like we talked for a minute and then he was like, yeah, I want you to edit. I think your videos are dope. And then it just kind of never went anywhere. I know Coney 20XX is trying to do those compilations. Compilations. I just don't, yeah, like the videos don't really take off. I think there's a missing market piece to it, and there's also like YouTube was a different time back then too. Like those types of compilations just worked very well by the nature of the format. And I think with like the way that things shifted towards shorts and like AI being like this really annoying as fuck thing that people do, maybe they're a little bit less incentivized to do something like that. I really think someone should be the Wolfie of Melee. I know Zayn tried it for one video. It really requires locking in, as I'm sure you know better than most. Yeah, I talked with Zayn about specifically that video he did for winning Supernova, because I think he is in a good position to do something like it. Melee is a harder game to narrate in the way that Wolfie does in his style than a turn-based game like Pokemon. But like after he won, like the two of us talked for a little while, and he was like, yeah, I have this idea to do this, and I just don't know like how I should execute it. I think it could be worthwhile. The thing is, like, Zayn is pretty uniquely positioned to do something like that versus me, where I'm not a player. Like I can give you the history and commentate and do all this other stuff, but I can't give you the first person experience and have the same level of authority that someone that Zayn has. So long story short, I agree with you. 7 away from the first to 50 coming to an end. For about 10 games, we went on a pretty insane side tangent, folks, but you know, it was good conversation, so that's cool. Wow, and the wispy assist too. This game just wants HBox to lose. Okay, so longer term, as we kind of approach the sunset of this, the first to 50, I wonder if rest is his best option, because it guarantees he gets punished based on spawn positioning. So he took 30 for that, so he's still behind. But like, I wonder, because why not do like the Sing reset Edgeguard, or like Bear, or just do like anything else? I wonder why he's resting so much, especially in those positions. Because at higher percent too, like Zayn could have just like, let's say HBox was at like 90 or 100, he could have just, I don't even think he rests there. Maybe that's just decision making on his part. Do I think there's any game with a higher barrier to entry than Melee? I feel like League is the only one I could think of that could possibly contend, because there's so much to learn there. Yeah, I feel like MOBAs are pretty tough because of the volume of things you need to know before you're even a capable player. For Melee, at least, like the argument would be, I guess, like to be like serviceable, like the controls are so simple that you could just pick it up and play like roughly. For League, it is, you know, viciously hard to learn everything that there is to learn, and knowledge is like so much of what that game is about. And then like mechanics kind of come later, right? Yeah, I feel like Vaporwave summarized that well too. Is it a competitive level or a casual level? Because it's like barrier to entry to be extremely good at the game competitively, then yeah, Melee's probably up there. But I still think MOBAs are a little bit harder to just learn in general. Can we say hi to Nala? Can they say hi to Nala? Here she is. Oh. Ah! Oh my god. Okay, the dream's still alive. All it takes is one good game from HBox, though, for my prediction to be wrong. By how many games I'll be wrong, though, I don't know. Oh. Got his ass. It might be 28. It might be 28. It's crazy how both HBox and Zayn were mega locked in this whole first to 50. They were taking it serious. That's why I think, like, you know, someone said earlier, do we think HBox is like withholding stuff so that he can surprise Zayn? I really think he's genuinely trying to learn what he can do to win this matchup. Okay, 28. How many games am I off? If it's more than like 7, if HBox ends at like 35, I would be surprised. Yeah, I mean, I think as we're getting closer to the end, like, I think the biggest takeaways I'm getting from this are, like, a lot of the flowcharts that Hungrybox has for this matchup seem really sound, but I don't think they're fully fleshed out yet. Or if they are fleshed out, they're just not the correct choices based on what Zayn is doing right now. It's tricky, right? Because, I mean, like, this game does things in, like, a very circular pattern of eventually a tech that, like, used to not be good 10 years ago might suddenly become relevant again. But I'm just not seeing it specifically in this player matchup right now. I think, like, the Edgeguard tree of, you know, the hold shield grab, the up B, Getting the like weak hit fair bears are pretty solid, but like I said before, Zayn is just showing that certain things are just not working against him. Uh-oh. Okay, Zayn's locking back in. Think Hbox is close enough to squeak out an occasional set win versus Zayn in bracket, but not enough. Yeah, I think there are certain things that need to go pretty right for him, and I think momentum carries a lot of weight for that, at least right now. Oh my god, he had the same setup again. That's disgusting. I think momentum matters a lot. I'm thinking a lot about the Collision 2025 set, where Hbox just randomly like killed himself in game 1, where he should have won, and then pretty much like spiritually 3-0'd Zayn, but lost in game 5 again because, you know, the inevitability was just there. Ooh, drill. He's trying to get to the left side of him, or at least just bounce him so that he can get a tech, or try to get him away from the tree. Yep, bye-bye. 3 games away. Do I think Hbox beats Moki in terms of a first to 50 record versus Zayn? Yes, I was saying at the start, I was told that Moki got the best record out of everyone, but that was before Hbox played him, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, what did Moki had 29, didn't he? So I think it's going to be extremely close for sure. If he beats Moki, it's probably by like a couple. I don't think I see Hbox getting past 35. What do I think Nala's side B would be? I don't know. Probably just like running or like throwing a ball or something like that. But okay, Hbox has tied Moki. I'm 2 games off my prediction. Can he crack 30? Is the main question. Jmook Zayn first to 50, I think would be really interesting too, because I feel like in the set, and because I was watching matches today for the announced Tokyo video, obviously, but like I noticed that Jmook seems so like collected when he's playing against Zayn, or I guess like the player cam, but then he gets like really flustered when he's playing against Cody. So I feel like an extended set versus Zayn might really be like the uber battle of patience. Amsa Zayn would be fun, but those matches would be very long. Okay. Oh, first hit nair. I was wondering if he was going to have mix-ups for platform, and it took almost 80 games. Mentioned in a recent video that there's no real phantom punish or something along the lines. Why do you think that is? I watch a ton of speedruns and people come up with literal pixel perfect. I think it's not that it can't exist, because like there are a lot of TAS videos out there that show that it's possible. It's just that the exact set of circumstances that need to happen, like I think in a perfect world, when people are playing robot like crazy, the year 3000 melee, yeah, I was gonna say like your note on if it was a missed rest, because it eliminates one of the moving targets, right? But in practice, it's just so not that feasible, where if you already have punishes labbed out that are just as effective, but nominally easier to do, that was really nice. You might as well just do the thing that is less of a barrier, right? But yeah, I was gonna say like versus like Puff missed rest, like maybe there are some like fringe use cases for it, but Elliot's response of just difficult to account for enemy movement pretty much sums it up. You can do setups. So like there's actually a clip of Jmook versus Hbox from years ago. I think it was at Summit 14. I did a short on it, where Hbox misses a rest and Jmook switches to Zelda to get the strong hit forward air, which is basically like a falcon knee, but it doesn't kill because Sheik and Zelda share a stale move queue. Or I think Jmook bared, because bear and fair are functionally the same for Zelda. So he didn't get the kill with the DI that Hbox went for because the bear was like slightly stale. So there are some use cases where like you can create a setup around, wow, he just phones that one in. Hbox cracks 30, let's go. But you can create a setup where, you know, the Zelda mains had talked about, oh, if you do this thing where you walk up next to the puff, do a roll to create perfect spacing, like you would do in like a Mario 64 speedrun, right? Like you create the setup and then you go for like whatever wall jumps or whatever it might be. But then you go for this. You can get a setup with Zelda that allows you to hit with only the last hit of her forward smash to get a kill in a similar position. The thing is, like, all of those are time dependent. It takes a while, it takes a certain amount of time for Jigglypuffs to wake up. If you're not perfectly in position for that setup, then you have to improvise and do something else. I think there's just a lot of moving pieces, which is why it's hard for me to be like, yeah, just do a Phantom Punish and like it'll work. So this is actually the record then, right? Ooh, I like that, but it doesn't matter. So that's what I mean. Like this one specifically, like maybe you just do it and like you basically concede that you're gonna be at 2 stocks apiece. But it's like, I don't know, why not try to do the thing that could get you a kill? And like some of it is cost benefit. Like Hbox was behind in percent, so he lets the rest rock. Let's say his other setup that doesn't involve a rest doesn't get him the stock, and then he dies first. That's also tricky. I get it. Like a lot of it is just in the moment cost benefit analysis. Come on, it's so late. Yeah, no, I got you. We got a couple games left and we'll wrap it up. I gotta hand Jazara a 5.5 hour long stream and tell him to make a video out of it. It's also just extremely impractical because, you know, characters move. So like their hurt boxes are shifting even due to their idle animations. So in practice, it's not really like a thing that you can very easily reliably set up. And when you do, it's kind of like, again, I think you can get a better bite out of the apple by just doing something that's much easier that can also, like, you know, best case scenario in a competitive sense is like it secures you a stock. Man, I wonder, with everyone joining the server too, I wonder if I should do, we used to do like game nights, community game nights, and movie nights and stuff like that. That'd be pretty fun. Okay, last one, potentially. One more. Time for him to go, Roy. So he must do some dumb stuff after, because there's like another hour on his stream. They talk about the matches after? I will not be sticking around for that. I've been streaming for a while already and I'm getting tired. So maybe if they have some immediate insights, I will stick around for a moment, but I think I'm probably gonna call it after this is done. And it's looking like it might be curtains for the H-Goat. Is the license even confirmed for Genesis yet? I believe it is. Or at least, like, they were a little bit more on top of it. If it's short, then I'll watch for a little bit. But we'll take a look. Zane's looking like he's closing the book on this one, though. My God, he's been unique with these cloud recoveries. That's the way it ends. Okay, off invincibility. 50 to 30. That is the end.
He was playing fucking cracked mid-late.
Is Zayn using the flexi spot chair? The one that I just got a sponsorship for? Am I planning to be at Genesis? I am. I already booked my travel. I should be. He is using the flexi spot chair. That's the logo. That's crazy. It's a good chair. Let's see what they say. I want to listen to this.
Those were some battles.
Those were some cracked games, especially midway.
I think that's the highest Puff Marth.
Do you remember the game count I told you to remember? It was something like 25 to 5. Oh, so Hbox won 25 before Zayn won 25. It was pretty close.
Yeah. I cannot edgeguard you. I don't know what the fuck Well, if I figure that out, this becomes a lot closer, but I have no...
Yep.
It's all in the recovery. Yeah.
So okay, yes.
I'm the Big Dipper, man.
I can tell. I'm just like, do I go down there? No. Do I stay up? Nope.
I think you're missing the 2.0s at first, but then you're hitting them.
Yeah, if I hit them
20 to
off, then it's
5.
good,
They went
and then
30,
I can
25
sync
at
up
the end.
and
Oh,
get
wow.
better
That's
combo
impressive.
controller. But so I'm gonna try that. And then, did you notice how many dumb pounds I did that were supposed to be
The
rest?
rest, yeah, I saw.
Okay, this is all just basically stroking my ego that what I pointed out very early into this is correct. Let's go.
I don't know about you. I'm sweaty as shit, bro. I'm like, my whole back is drenched.
I'm a little
My
sweaty.
back hurts like an old man. Like, it's
Dude, my
crazy.
back hurts too.
My lower back hurts right now. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like
I got
like
my shoulder.
throbbing.
My shoulder blades are fucked.
Oh my god. Was that the best anyone did in the first of 50?
Yeah, Moki got 29. I think you took the most in a row, like at points.
Yeah. I think, wasn't I also the only, because I went up 2-1. Was it the only time you ever went down on any of these?
No, against Sensei, I lost the first game.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, there you go. Shit, I wanted that. Well, for the people, do we give them some Ness Roy to finish it off?
Let's do it. Random stages?
Yeah, Ness Roy, random first to 5, right?
All right, I'm not watching that because it's late for me. But listen, that was fun. That's gonna do it for me tonight. So hey, thank you guys for watching. You guys stuck around for this entire thing, even though it happened before Japan, and I really wanted to watch it. So thanks for doing that with me, and we will be back to do some more streams as long as you guys want to keep seeing them pretty soon. So I'm gonna wrap it up because I budgeted about 4 hours to do this. I thought I'd be done at like 10, and it's basically midnight, which means I'm not working on this video tonight, and I'm gonna try to get it done tomorrow so you guys can have a fun Now Invitational Japan video in your subscription box come tomorrow afternoon. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all you guys in chat. Oh wait, don't go yet. We have to do this. I forgot to do it in the beginning, so we're gonna do it now, and we're kind of cheating, but it's okay. You know, give me a hi YouTube, because I think this is gonna be a YouTube video at some point. Yes, first one. Woo! Amazing, 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 amazing stuff.